So we have time for one more question. Rob volunteered, so Rob, please go ahead with the question.
Thank you. My question would be maybe to all of you. What we have seen from the presentations is that the prices of secondary or ancillary services are actually dropping. And that goes for Austria as well as I think for Slovenia, Romania and Hungary, I'm not really sure. But what we have seen also is that not just the prices are dropping, but also the procured capacity is reducing, which means that implies that the prices will drop even further. But in FutureFlow, we are speaking about the increasing need for flexibility, and this is in direct contrast of what is happening in reality. So my question is, how do you comment these happenings, and how do you see the future? And maybe the second question would be, especially with low prices, as you mentioned, the first providers which are affected are the small ones. My question is, how committed are you to protect the small ones, and especially the DRDGs, to flourish and enter your markets in reality? Thank you.
Well, concerning the first question about the necessity of having more reserves in the future, I definitely think that we need some solutions for the future. Considering, for example, the likely increase of wind power plants. The question is how much the consumers or the grid itself tries to stabilize. And this is also a crucial point for me, because I'm not sure if every service has to be procured by market. Let's think about FCR, for example. You could install quite easily in appliances frequency-dependent energy demand. So this would help to stabilize the system. It costs almost nothing if you have a refrigerator with such a frequency-dependent energy demand. And I think it's much more efficient to stabilize the system itself a bit more with such an approach than to buy additional FCR reserves, because it's much more complicated and in the end much more expensive. So I think that there could be approaches on the market side, but also on the reserve side. But I agree that the prices are going down, and this is also something I don't quite understand, because if you think of prosumers participating in the market with, let's say, a heat pump of 2 kilowatts and with a shift of 2 kilowatt hours a day, you can easily calculate that it sums up to, I don't know, 20, 30 euros a year, and who is going to allow switching on and off the heat pump for 20 euros a year. So that's why I'm not completely sure if this will work in the future. But coming back to your second question, I'm not completely sure how we can, as a TSO, protect the small providers, despite by defining rules which could help them. But in the end, I'm not completely sure how these rules should look like to protect small providers.
Maybe a special product or something.
Or isn't it a job for DSOs to take care of them instead of you? Maybe?
This depends on the service, I would say.
Yeah.
Because if you think about frequency stabilizing services, this is not a topic for the DSO, definitely not. But if you think about congestion management, this of course would be a topic. Or voltage control as well. But again, also here the question is, what should be done on the basis of connection rules and automatic reactions, and what should be done on the basis of a market?
Thank you.
So I can add something. It's for me it's important to have also some ancillary services from the consumers. And why? Why? And I think that this market will be all the time open, because in some period of the years, when all the other resources are, let's say, less or acquisite, used, consumers are all the time a source of ancillary services. And I think that it's a market for that.
Okay, maybe just one remark from my side. In the morning we heard Martin Poch said that regulators expect from the TSOs to decrease the reserve, and which is quite logical because we can do this thanks to enhanced cooperation among TSOs. But on the other hand, we are speaking about new flexibility, the need for new flexibility, which will have to replace thermal units in the future. So maybe this contradiction appears at the first glance, but we need to keep in mind the moment in the time when this all happens. So I would like to thank to all the panelists and to the audience to participate in this panel. And I give the microphone back to Carlo for some wrap up.